Hey everybody, I know as well as anyone else how hard it is to eat healthy when you have a busy schedule. All right, I've got family to take care of, I got a full-time job, I got a long commute for that full-time job. I have minus the gym that I'm shooting videos for, I work out quite a bit. So all these things, they add up. How do I make time to eat healthy? Well, in this video, I'm going to show you a sort of meal plan template that I follow on my busiest days, Monday through Friday. And not only does it allow me to eat healthy, but it also is easy to switch things up and get variety in my nutrition. First, let's talk about breakfast. All right, for breakfast, I highly recommend you make smoothies. All right, I know a lot of people are going to say, "Well, I don't have a high-powered blender." Buy one. Don't hold back, because blenders are seriously the most important tool for eating a healthy plant-based diet. You make sauces with them, you can make soups, you make smoothies, which I'm about to show you. So don't hold back on finding a nice blender for yourself. The reason why smoothies are so great is because you can prepare them the night before, as I'm about to show you, and then all you got to do in the morning is blend and pour. So in the evening, before you go to bed, stack a bunch of ingredients in a blender pitcher and then put it in your fridge. Then it's off to bed for a good night's rest. When your alarm goes off in the morning, you go to the fridge and boom, your pitcher is right there, everything's nice and cold. Set it on the base of your blender, give it a good blend for about 20 seconds, and then you have a nice, nutritious, and delicious smoothie that you can serve in a to-go mug if you want with a lid so you can drink it on the way to work. So let's go over how I make my smoothies. I've covered this in previous videos, but it doesn't hurt to talk about it again. So I always start off with 1.5 to 2 cups of plant milk or water as a liquid base. In this example, I'm using soy milk. Then I add in about 3 handfuls of greens. Now notice I said greens. I'm using baby spinach right here, but this could be anything. It could be kale, it could be chard, it could be romaine lettuce, iceberg lettuce, arugula, whatever you want to try. Get creative and switch up your greens for variety. And remember, greens always near the bottom so they get blended well. Then on top of the greens, I like to put 2 or 3 bananas, depending on how large the bananas are. I put 3 in this smoothie. And then on top of the bananas, add 2 handfuls of additional ripe fruit. And this can be any ripe fruit, so get creative and switch it up for variety. I like to use whatever's on sale, and this week was green grapes. But it could be mango, pineapple, cantaloupe, berries, whatever. Just keep in mind that if you use berries, they're going to alter the color of your smoothie, and it might look kind of murky and brown. It's kind of gross. And then just top it off with 3 tablespoons of hemp seeds or maybe a scoop of protein powder, whatever you want to increase the protein of the smoothie. And there you go. Now you have your blender all stacked with ingredients and ready for the fridge. And that's our old beagle Daisy to the left there. I thought it was time for her to make a cameo. So that's breakfast, and now let's take a look at lunch. Today happens to be Sunday, and every Sunday I make about 30 to 60 minutes free so that I can cook up a huge stir fry for my lunches for the week. I recommend stir fries because there's many different layers to a stir fry, like many different pieces to it. There's the grain, which today I'm going to use rice. There's veggies, so you saute some veggies. You have beans. I love adding beans to my stir fry. You have a sauce, right? There's 4 different things that you can change up week to week to get variety in your stir fries and variety in your lunch. Since oil is a refined fat and I avoid refined foods altogether, I'm going to saute these in water, and I'll make a whole separate video on cooking oil-free later. But for now, just notice that I'm putting a few tablespoons of water in this frying pan, and I'm going to heat it up on medium-high heat. And once it gets nice and hot and I see steam rising off of it, I go ahead and dump in diced onion and some crushed up garlic. I always add onion and garlic to my stir fries, just about every time. And for all of you who haven't used an onion chopper or a potato chopper, they are a godsend for dicing onion. All right, you'll save time and you'll save the red burning eyes, so definitely check it out. So I'll just saute onion and garlic for a little while, and then I'll go ahead and start dumping in some spices, all right? And I'm going for a Mexican theme in this, so I'm doing some cumin, some chili powder, and a little bit of coriander. Once that's thoroughly cooked, I add some rice. And this is wild rice and brown rice mixed, which I was cooking in a rice cooker while chopping everything. And on top of that, I dump an assortment of other veggies and ingredients. You can see here I got green pepper, black beans, sliced black olives, some corn. I stir that up so it starts heating up, getting nice and warm, and then I realized I was missing red. I didn't have the color red in there. So I found some cherry tomatoes that I sliced up, but there weren't many of them, so I also found a red pepper in the fridge and sliced up a red pepper. And then it was just a matter of letting it get nice and warm, letting all the flavors blend. So I let it simmer for maybe 10 minutes or so. Then I just put it in a bowl to let it cool, and then it goes in the fridge. And what's cool is that, you'll have this huge bowl of stir fry, and then every evening when you're getting ready for work the next day, you can take maybe 2 cups or so of the stir fry and put it in some Tupperware or a Pyrex. And for this, I'd accompany it with maybe corn tortillas and some sliced avocado. Alright, and now we're left with dinner. So what about dinner? Alright, it's been a long day at work. Maybe you still need to work out when you get home. You just don't feel like making something. Well, for me, I'm very lucky. I have a wife who stays home, and she's awesome, and she cooks healthy dinners all the time. So I luck out in that department. But before we were living together and I was still trying to eat healthy, I found a slow cooker to be an extremely useful tool. With a slow cooker, you can just throw ingredients in there and make a stew or soup or chili or any kind of hearty dinner like that. And you just throw it all in, set it on low for 8 hours before you leave for work, and it'll be ready when you come home. And if it finished cooking before you get home, that's fine. Any good slow cooker will just switch to warm and keep your dinner warm while it waits for you. All you got to do is take your crock pot out of the cabinet and plug it in. Then open some cans. Here I'm using 2 large cans of diced plum tomatoes and a small can of tomato paste. So I dump all that along with 3 cups of water into this crock pot here with some assorted vegetables. These were veggies that were pre-cut or frozen. And I have some assorted beans, 3 different types here. I got chickpeas, black beans, and kidney beans. I'm going to add those as well. And then I'm going to top it off with some spices. And here's the exact measurements of the spices if you want to pause your screen, but it's basically just chili powder, coriander, and some Dijon mustard and molasses. And the molasses does a great job adding a smoky barbecue flavor. It turned out really good. So in the morning, set your crock pot to low, whether that's 8 hours or 10 hours, whatever makes sense for how long you'll be gone. And when you get home, you'll have some delicious 3-bean chili or soup or stew or whatever you made waiting for you. And in case you're wondering, this 3-bean chili recipe was inspired by the Engine 2 Diet cookbook. Engine 2 is actually referring to a fire station in Texas, and the book has a really inspiring story about the firefighters at this station. They all went plant-based, and they monitored their health, like their blood pressure and their cholesterol levels. Not only did their health improve, meaning those levels regulated, but their performance on the job improved as well. So it's a really motivating story. It comes with a lot of great recipes. I highly recommend this cookbook, and I'll put a link to this and several other cookbooks I recommend in the description below. If you really want to throw together slow cooker recipes with ease, you'll want to take advantage of pre-cut frozen veggies, canned products like I'm showing here, and especially the pre-sliced fresh products in the produce section. One thing that's probably worth mentioning is that I bet someone in the comments, if not many people, are going to say you shouldn't be using so much canned food. And I don't quite agree with that. I mean, yes, canned food can have excess sodium in it, so I do recommend looking for the cans that say low sodium or no salt added. I always try to seek those out. But even if you can't find low sodium canned food, that's the only convenience we really get when making a healthy plant-based diet and eating that way. So take advantage of it. I mean, I use frozen, pre-chopped veggies all the time. I get canned food quite a bit if I'm too busy to cook the beans from dry or something like that. So just ignore people who say that. They don't understand how busy you are, and take advantage of this convenience because it's very helpful. All right, everybody, thank you so much for watching this video. I really appreciate it. I hope it was helpful to you, and I hope that template that I showed, the breakfast, lunch, and dinner, is going to be useful because it really is convenient when you do smoothies, stir fries, and a crock pot recipe. It makes it so much easier. You only have to devote like maybe 20 minutes a day and you have 3 delicious healthy meals to eat. And in case you've never seen one of my videos before, this is minus the gym. It's all about healthy eating and calisthenics-based home fitness. so that you can, like with a busy life, if you have a family and kids and stuff and you want to get in shape and you want to improve your health, that's what my channel is all about. So if that sounds good to you, make sure you subscribe, right? There's the big button down below, and I'll probably put something on the screen here. And make sure you tap that bell after you subscribe, all right? When you tap the bell, that tells YouTube to notify you every time I upload a new video.